The 2024 Paralympics for athletes with disabilities is underway at the same Paris venues that hosted Olympic events earlier in August. One of the more than 4,000 competitors is closing in on a remarkable achievement: the most track and field medals in either the Olympics or Paralympics for either men or women. In tonight's Weekend Spotlight, meet Team USA wheelchair racer Tatyana McFadden. Amid the early morning joggers on a suburban Maryland high school track on a humid summer morning is one of the most honored Paralympic athletes in history, wheelchair racer Tatyana McFadden.
There's still a mindset that disability is taboo. And so sports allowed me to say, hey, I can become an athlete, a professional athlete.
Every week, she covers about 100 miles as she trains for this year's Paralympic Games in Paris. When you're going around the track, what's your mindset? What's in your head?
I'm really thinking about what I need to do during that race, who my competitors are, what lane am I in, how's the wind, how am I going to start the race, how am I going to finish the race.
Finishing training on the track isn't the end of her day. She loads up her racing wheelchair and heads to a gym to work out with weights.
People with disabilities are a part of every culture and every subculture. And so, when you see someone with a disability, you don't have to stare so much or assume what they can't do.
Her grueling regimen may be challenging, but she's faced challenges all her life. She was born in the Soviet Union with spina bifida, a birth defect of the spine that's left her paralyzed from the waist down. Doctors told her mother that an orphanage was the best option for Tatyana to get the care she needed, but she got no specialized medical attention.
I got around by scooting inches above the floor or walking on my hands. That's all I knew at the time until the 6th year, and my life completely changed.
That's when Deborah McFadden came into her life. One of the authors of the Americans with Disabilities Act, she visited the orphanage as U.S. Commissioner of Disabilities. Afterward, she says she couldn't stop thinking about Tatyana and went back several times to see her. Eventually, she adopted her. That opened up possibilities that 6-year-old Tatyana had never imagined.
I could dream for the first time, because living in the orphanage, you weren't taught to dream. You were just taught to survive.
Arriving in America, she got her first wheelchair.
That was the start of everything. I loved it. I was trying to push as fast as I could. It just felt like freedom.
To build up her poor health, Deborah and her now wife, Bridget O'Shaughnessy, got Tatyana into sports: basketball, sled hockey, swimming, gymnastics. But it was wheelchair racing that appealed to her, and she began competing when she was 7. In 2004, she qualified for that year's Paralympics in Athens. Up against older, more experienced athletes, the 15-year-old won silver and bronze medals. She came home a decorated athlete, only to be turned away by her high school track team.
When you go into high school, they tell you to get involved, right? And I didn't want to do anything else besides track. I was getting in line for the uniforms, and then they wouldn't give me one. Going to the track meets, they wanted to stop the entire track meet, have me go around, and then continue the track meet. And it felt really humiliating.
Deborah sued the school system for discrimination and won.
That was the moment where I found my why, in my advocacy. I have a younger sister, Hannah. She's also a wheelchair racer, and I thought, if they're denying me, they're absolutely going to deny her and the generations after me. So I need to be the voice. I need to be the game changer in this.
That gives Tatyana a goal beyond just personal achievement.
I am competing for every single person that has been discriminated against, that's still being discriminated against. Sports, for me, it brought healing. So that's what I want to bring to the other generations, as well as equality and equity for people with disabilities.
She pushed for the passage of Maryland's Tatyana's Law, which guarantees students with disabilities equal access to school sports. That led to a U.S. Education Department mandate extending that to all schools across the country. Does each one have a memory, a specific memory?
It does, yeah.
In 6 Paralympic Games, Tatyana has won 20 medals, 8 of them gold, but only 19 are for wheelchair racing. When the 2014 Winter Games were awarded to Sochi in her native Russia, she was intent on going. She took up cross-country skiing, and won a silver medal. That she did it on Russian soil had special meaning.
It made a statement without me even saying anything, that I survived through the conditions that I should never survive.
Adding to her medal count at the Paris Games could bring a big career milestone. 3 more medals, and she'll be the most decorated track and field athlete in the Olympics or Paralympics, male or female. Is that something that's on your mind?
It is. It's something that is definitely on my mind and a really big motivator for Paris. It's going to be really cool to be just part of the history books, and knowing that I can do it is even better.
It adds to her determination to be on the track every morning, training for her 7th Paralympics. Is it still as exciting and sort of buzzing with anticipation?
You know what it is, because every Games is getting more exciting, more competitive, but the media and the sponsorships and the equality in the sport is really growing. So it's really fun and exciting. I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I love it.
Tatyana's first opportunity for a medal comes tomorrow in the 800-meter race.